Another big issue here in the Houston area in the month of February that will continue throughout the year is the pension plan. Now, Mayor Sylvester Turner had a plan that was going before the state legislature, but there was some interference. We have more in this report.
It was earlier this month when Mayor Sylvester Turner warned jobs could be lost in Houston if a bill he was pushing to address pension debt didn't get approved by the legislature. The mayor sounded the alarm after he learned some state lawmakers and forces in Houston wanted pension reform as well as a vote by the people on the issue. Those forces would prefer a 401k style plan or defined contribution type plan instead of old school pension. Those forces who want pension reform in Houston have hired people like this man. He says he was hired to collect thousands of signatures on the campus of the University of Houston.
We're trying to reform the pension plan for the city so everybody can keep their jobs and their pension.
Ray Hunt with the Houston Police Officers Union, who supports Mayor Turner's plan and old school pension, confronted the man on the campus of UH. Hunt says the man who refused to identify himself is misleading people who signed the petition, a petition that would call for pension reform and a vote by the people.
I don't believe people here know what they're signing. Do you know the difference between a defined benefit plan and a defined contribution plan? If these people asked you that, that's what.
Why are you taping me, sir?
I'm just asking you.
Why y'all come up here?
Hunt and his fellow union officer Joe Gamaldi say those collecting signatures are also telling people they can sign for someone else.
Can I sign for somebody else?
Nope.
Really, that's funny because when I came up here the other day, you were going to let me sign for my brother, and you even coached me that I should put his date of birth, his name, and his address.
You suggested
Well,
that.
no, that's funny because I actually have a video.
Here's that video taken by Gamaldi a few days later. Listen.
My brother is like tuned in on all this stuff. He's registered in Harris County. Can I like sign his name up?
Yes, you can.
All right, cool. Yeah. You got a pen for me?
Make sure you put his right address and zip code.
Put his right address and zip code?
Right.
Okay.
Why would I come over here and do this?
Because I'm directly affected by this. I'm the one trying to educate people on the truth, not on the lies.
Joining us now is Joe Gamaldi from the Houston Police Officers Union. I went out there with you guys that day when you confronted the man. Now, what is the biggest issue? What is your concern about what he was doing while collecting signatures at the University of Houston from students?
What these individuals are doing is completely and utterly ridiculous. They're not providing proper information to people that are signing this petition. They don't have anything in writing for someone to read. I mean, this is a complex issue, Isaiah. I mean, this isn't red light cameras where you're either for or against it. Explaining the pension to someone and the costs associated with ending our pension is a complex issue that would take over an hour to explain to someone, but yet they're misleading the public. They're out there telling people we're trying to save their pensions when in fact they're trying to do exactly the opposite. At best, they're grossly incompetent at what they're doing, and at worst, they're blatantly misleading the public. And this is serious. This is the future of our financial future for our officers, and we're going to take it seriously when someone does something like this.
Now, one of the things we contacted State Senator Paul Bettencourt to see if he had a role in this petition, and he said he and Bill King absolutely had no role in putting this petition out there in the community.
You know, I'll tell you, it is my belief that the silver medalist in the last mayoral election, Bill King, is directly behind this issue, and I believe Paul Bettencourt is as well. They've been beating the drum on this for a long time. You had Bill King sending out his gross email out to everyone, spamming their email accounts, expounding this exact rhetoric that they should end all of our pensions. But of course, when you ask them how much would it cost to end our pension, they don't have any numbers to provide you. They don't have any studies to fall back on. They just want to end our pensions because it's part of their agenda. Because Bill King lost the mayoral election, he's going to hold it against the rest of us. I don't understand why he doesn't do what other rich people do when they have a bad day. Go buy a sports car instead of trying to stab a knife in our backs while we're out there bleeding for our citizens out in the city of Houston.
Now, have you guys reached out to Bill King? Because I did, and I didn't get a response back via text message from him in my attempt to try and get a comment to see if he had a role in this. I asked him, did he have a role in this petition? Have you guys reached out to him? 30 seconds.
You know, we haven't heard back from him on whether or not he's pushing this petition, but I'll tell you one thing. It's funny, when you go to his website and Paul Bettencourt's, this petition is up on their website. So you know what? If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Guess what? It's a duck.
So what's your next move, Joe? How do you guys combat misinformation when it comes to your future, your pensions here in the city of Houston?
Our next move is that whenever these petitions are brought to City Council, we're going to tell all City Council, and I hope they're watching today, these petitions ain't worth the paper they're printed on. I mean, for God's sake, they were going to let me sign someone else's name on this petition, and now we're expected that they're going to do this properly and turn it in properly to the city? It's not worth it. It's not worth the paper it's printed on, Isaiah.
All right, Joe Grimaldi from the Houston Police Officers Union, thank you for coming on The Factor Uncensored. I see how hot you are on this issue.
Thank
so
you for
we
having
thank you. We'll continue to follow it here on The Factor. We'll be back with more Isaiah Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Stay with us.